Hi there, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Just wanted, we don't have Doug here today, but very, very happy to have Wayne join me. So it is the Sandy and Wayne show today.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Just a couple updates, and some of these have been a little bit repetitive, but that's okay. They're extra reminders to remind you to please sign up for our Halloween event this Friday on the 30th. We only have a few spots left, and sign up is mandatory. We currently have 55 residents that are signed up. It will be a lot of fun. It is not mandatory to dress up in costume. Of course, we encourage it because it's a little bit more fun to dress up, whether it's a funny hat or t-shirt or whatever it might be, or just to come and have fun with everybody. But it'll be a lot of fun. Good entertainment, good treats, goodies, and specialty drink, and much more. So just a reminder on that. Last day for early transportation or early voting for transportation will be on the 28th. That's on Wednesday. So as you're watching the show today is the last day. Again, the times for early transportation there for the voting is from 10 to 11:30 and 1 to 3:30. So if you're interested, please sign up and we'll zip you right over there. I heard the lines were a lot less than last week. And literally can go in, walk right up, drop your ballot or vote in person and get right back. So please do that if you haven't already. Encourage everybody, of course, to vote. The other reminders are we have pumpkins, which all of you must have seen, that are right across from the concierge desk. If you haven't seen them, I encourage you to please go by and see the pumpkins that the team members have either decorated or carved. And we're asking you just to vote for your favorite pumpkin. And we're going to have gift cards awarded to the winner that will be shared on Friday during our Halloween party. As well as that, we had the shelf decorating contest. We've been passing around all the photos of all the doors that have been in the shelf decorating contest to have our neutral judges vote on those. So that's going around, and the winner for each building, as well as the villas, will be also shared on Friday during our Halloween party. So a lot of fun things going on this week. So looking forward to seeing you on Friday. And I still don't know what I'm going to be yet, but I'll be something. We'll figure it out. So those are the updates this week. And I will pass it over to Wayne.
Well, hi, everybody. Last week, I was talking about the child ego state, and I explained that was the first ego state to develop. And it is reminiscent of feelings and emotions that you acquired during your childhood when you had some kind of an event or situation happen to you. And they are stored in your brain. And I use the example of having like little tiny CDs in little tiny compartments, and they get stored in your brain. And then when you have one of these events or situations occur later in life, it comes out of your brain, plugs in and plays, and it creates the same feeling or emotion that you had when you were a child. Now, over the years, you can turn down those feelings and emotions when they play, but that particular little CD will always play in that particular event or situation. Well, today what I want to do is talk about how can you tell when you're in a particular ego state. Of course, we're talking about the child ego state. Every ego state has a goal, and the goal of the child ego state is to be liked or accepted. And I'm actually going to break the child ego state into two parts. You have the natural child, and that's the part of you that wants to be liked or accepted by his or herself. And then you have the adapted child, which wants to be liked or accepted by others. So let's talk a little more about the natural child. Each ego state also has a positive and a negative. So the natural child, the positive part of that is that's the part of you that's carefree, fun-loving. It's where the hugging comes from, the loving. It also is the uncensored part of you. It's the curious part of you. It's the creative part of you. So all those things, and you can see that in a little child a lot of times is when they're displaying all those different things. So that's the positive part. Now, it also has a negative part in that it can be very self-centered, aggressive, and from time to time rebellious. And if you just think of a little child that has a toy, and another child goes over to start playing with the toy, and you'll see a little kid grab it back and say, mine, very aggressively. Well, they're kind of me, my, I oriented. Sometimes we are the same. So you maybe see yourself doing that child ego state once in a while. As far as the rebellious part goes, I'll give you an example. Two little kids are playing in a sandbox, and one's building a sandcastle. The other is driving a truck around the sand, pushing it around. Well, sooner or later, that truck's going through the sandcastle. When it does, the child building the sandcastle jumps up and says, "I'm never going to play with you again," and runs away. A few minutes later, what do you see? The same two kids playing in the sandbox like nothing ever happened. Maybe they switch roles now. The other one's now building the sandcastle, the other driving a truck, and sooner or later, it's going through the sandcastle. So the rebellion's always short-lived. But, and again, you can think of that sometimes you've probably been the same thing where you said, "No," and then realize that you probably shouldn't have said that. Okay, so that's the goal of the child ego state. Now, the clue cluster, I said the other ways to tell is by the body language, expressions, and vocal tones. Okay, so let's talk about the natural child. The body language. The body language for a natural child is the skipping, the hugging, the twinkle in the eye. The expressions would be, "I want an ice cream cone. I wish I had an ice cream cone. Oh boy, I got an ice cream cone." And the vocal tones is usually cheerful and appealing, but if they're in that rebellious part, it can be a bit complaining. Let's take a look at the adapted child. The adapted child, the positive part of the adapted child, that's where your courtesy, your refinement, your respect, your politeness comes from. The negative side, that's the part of you that can be somewhat fearful and also have a poor or low self-esteem, a poor image of themselves. So that's the negative part. Now, the body language that goes with that is when you're in the positive part of it, that would be a person that is showing that politeness, that respect to another person. Whatever you think that looks like, that's what that would be. The negative aspect is you might see the person with a kind of drooped shoulders. They might have their lips pouted. They kind of look a little bit forlorn, head droop. That would be the negative appearance of an adapted child. As far as expressions go, on the positive side, an adapted child would say things like, "May I, please, thank you." Again, courtesy and respect. The negative part of it would be they might say, "Oh, it's not my fault. I really didn't mean to do that. Have I done it okay?" Or they might say something like, "If only I had married a rich woman." Sandy likes that one, right? Okay. And the vocal tone. Vocal tone, again, for the positive side, it would be something that's very showing that politeness, that courtesy, that respect. On the negative side, it would be grumbling to themselves, maybe mumbling under their breath. So that is how you can tell if you're in the child ego state. Now, I've been watching the Doug and Sandi show for many months, and I can tell you that when I watch the Doug and Sandi show, usually they demonstrate all three ego states somewhere during their presentation. And I know I tell you it's for you, but I know what you're going to do. You're going to start saying, "Oh, there's Sandi being a child. There's Doug being adult." Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to do that when you get through the show. And next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking about the parent. I'm going to describe what the parent ego state is all about. And the following week, then I'll get into giving the goals and the clue clusters. And with that, I turn it back to Sandi.
Thank you so much, Wayne. I tell you, every time I learn something new every day. And I guess I'm the child, so I'll remember that. I'll tease Doug next time he's on. Thank you, though. I really enjoy the tips and everything you have to share when you come on these shows on Tuesdays. So really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
One more update. Just want to remind everybody about the bistro opening this week. I know Norman and the team are adding more and more items every day. So please, if you haven't gone down, please go take a look. You can use your points. It doesn't look like much if you just walk by. You really have to walk all the way in and see the back where they have all the goodies, a lot of grab-and-go items, a lot of grocery items. They are going to be adding on toiletries. And just heard from Norman today, and the next couple weeks, mid-November, they are going to add a cook back into the bistro, and we'll be having hot breakfast items as well as lunch items. We'll still have no seating in the bistro. We cannot use that space for communal dining, but you will have an opportunity to at least go down and get those hot breakfast sandwiches, a hot breakfast, a hot lunch item, and take it to go. So that's coming, and that should be a really, really nice addition over there. So please use that. A lot of items. If you have any suggestions, also share that with the dining team. I know they're open to that. This is your home. We want to make sure we can be as accessible as possible and give you those items. So please, all you have to do is suggest it and let us know what you might like to see in there. And if it's possible, we will make it happen. Okay, so please go see the bistro. So that being said, that's all I have today. And we might see Doug tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.